right, let's get right into it. My name is Law Nation, and we're going to talk about this particular draft philosophy of what Stephen Jones had to say in his wonderful interview with 105.3 The Fan. Let's first start off with of course, the Kyle Pitts. Plays clip number 4.
What can you say about when Jerry Jones loves a player versus what the team's needs are?
Well, I just think he's certainly putting his, certainly given his view on, what a unique football player Kyle Pitts is. He's a unique matchup player, and certainly if you look at the Chiefs and the 49ers and the way New England's utilized them over the years, these mismatched tight end players can certainly make a big difference in offensive football. And I think you'd be hard-pressed, I think, to find anyone who knows football personnel-wise in the NFL, coaches that can't see a vision for what, the problems a player like Kyle Pitts could present. I think he's a unique player that doesn't come around every year, and certainly Jerry was just acknowledging that.
All right, so acknowledgement. He was saying that Jerry Jones was just acknowledging the fact that this kid, Kyle Pitts, is just unbelievable. I know that we can go back and see other players with the same measurables, the height and these sorts, but as far as the speed and the catch radius and the way he can pretty much find a soft spot in the zone, man, he can do just that, and it's fantastic. Do we or should we have any reservations on that? We can a little bit, but we need help in red zone opportunities, and we need somebody that can pull the ball out of the sky, and I believe Kyle Pitts can do just that. Now, from the defensive mind, I know, ranked bottom half of the defense last year. The thing is, that was last year. We don't have the same coaching staff. Whole new philosophy. Let me repeat, a whole new philosophy. So now we got to look at it like this. Okay, off season, we got Dan Quinn in the house. He got some of his guys as it relates to the KZ, Keanu O'Neal. And then when it get around to this draft, this DB class is so thick. And I believe also between the picks of like the late second and the third and the fourth, even the interior guys, as it relates to what we really need, as it relates to help from the interior, will be thick too. So those two categories can swing to our favor. Flat out can. Now, I'm with the belief, best player available. Let me say this once again, best player available. The Cowboys need to go into this draft and looking for the best player available. And when he talked about mismatching, he talked about the fact that you saw what the 49ers was able to do with their tight end, and you saw what the Kansas City Chiefs are able to do with their tight end as well when Gronkowski was with the Patriots. And, of course, he followed Tom Brady all the way over there to Tampa Bay. He is dynamic. Mismatch. Regardless of how you look at it, when you have a big physical tight end that can pull the ball out of the sky, it creates those mismatch because what are you going to do? Are you going to slide the linebacker in on him, or are you going to kick an extra nickel back down inside, or are you going to convert whoever's your number one cornerback over to cover the tight end? That is creating mismatches. Now, the philosophy aspect of the Dallas Cowboys, I look at it like they are not going to go the route that I'm thinking, nor the route that we are all thinking. I think Stephen Jones just said he want all 10 of those picks, and he's hoping that all 10 of those guys can be somebody that's special because his philosophy is not building through free agency, which I can agree with that. But you should at least assemble your team of guys through the free agency. But he looks at it like you got to build your team through the draft, which is right. But when it's time to pay you guys, you got to pay them too. You know, those that you drafted, those that you did develop. Clip number 2.
Hopefully putting 10 really good football players on this team to help us take that next step. And then, of course, one thing we really value as an organization is college free agency as well. We feel like we've really used that to our benefit. So, you know, we're going to pick up, counting our draft picks, we're going to pick up 25, 30 players that should hopefully make a big difference.
So he's looking for all 10 of those guys, and he's looking for, of course, once the draft is over with, bringing in some more people to help solidify that particular side of the ball. Now, my thing is, Cowboy Nation, we should build through the draft, yes, but we should not freak out against the free agency. I think that that's where you get your known commodities from, and that's where you can really fill in those holes that's on this team that can help this team go further than first round of the playoff and then you're out. We need experiences on this team. A new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners. And lately, what the Cowboys been doing, they've been so stingy with that money and not being able to go out there and grab a guy that can be a difference maker.
Well, as you know, obviously, getting to the top of the draft is very painstaking. But once you get to pick early, it's certainly great to pick up there high in terms of what your opportunities are in terms of some really high-end football players. And certainly with the draft, pretty much unanimous people are thinking there's 5 first-round quarterbacks. That certainly helps us out since we signed our quarterback of the future just this spring, and know he's our answer to that riddle. But we think, going to get some great opportunities because of the depth, not only at quarterback, but offense in general. And, we've made no bones about it, barring something very opportunistic that, we certainly want to improve our defensive football team. So certainly the top end of that draft helps us in terms of what we might see there defensively. Like I said, I mean, you can always use help anywhere, whether it's offensive line or anywhere else. But certainly this should be pushing some defensive football players our direction.
So he ended up talking more so, okay, we know for sure, and I'm just trying to figure out this puzzle. He talked glowingly of Kyle Pitts, right? He says generational, and he was just lamenting what his father was talking about, Jerry, Wayne, Jones was talking about, as far as the love affair for Kyle Pitts. And then he goes into the conversational piece about, hey, there are going to be 5 quarterbacks gone, right? We already signed our quarterback, which is Rain Dakota Prescott. So this defense, this area of need, we might just take a real good look and focus in on the defensive side of the coin. Well, we will find out. We will absolutely find out. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. And, of course, it will be in a couple of days from here, right? Who the Cowboys will draft with the 10th overall, or will they dance or moonwalk back? And we'll play a little bit of that down the line. Cowboy Nation, check out 105.3 The Fan. Hit them up. I'll post a link somewhere down below so you guys can hear the entire interview. And maybe this week we will also do a full episode on this on the live feed. Really appreciate you guys. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. Cowboy Nation, just roll with BPA. Roll with BPA. You can't go wrong with that, right? You can't go wrong with that. And we'll get into more details later on. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute.